What's up, y'all? This your boy DC with emix.com. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the Emix podcast. But before we dive into the next episode, if you make any kind of music and you plan on putting it out the right way, then you know the importance of getting your music properly mixed and mastered. And that's what we do here at emix.com. We make it super easy. Just upload your sessions and our mix engineers here will get it mixed to industry standards. And we have plans starting as low as $39.99 a month, so I'll leave you that link in the description below so you can click on it and get started today. All right, y'all, let's dive into this episode. Peace!
What up, y'all? This your boy DC.
And I'm Zach.
And we got the big homie Cam Duce in the building. What up, though?
Hey!
What up? What's good? What's good? Appreciate y'all having me.
Been in apartments, now my mama need a palace. Can't stop like GM. Yeah, bitch, I need a challenge. Shorty bad, but always wanna spend time. She need balance. She swear I want these hoes. I just want Benji in
What's
the
up, man?
Get it cracked.
Hey, man, you know, it's a long time coming. We've been had to get you on this joint, though.
Yeah. It's been a minute. It's only right we get in.
Yeah, no, it's perfect timing now because you got a lot of stuff you working on. You got a new video out, new single. I see you over there working. So, you know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about all that, man. We're going to definitely talk about all that. Zach, what you got?
All right, dude. So just to start us off, tell everyone how you got into music, kind of your journey and how you got to where you are today.
Okay. If we talking just music in general, I got into music around like sixth, seventh grade because I was in percussion. I was in band, but I got to work with the drums and snares and rhythm and stuff like that. But
Nice.
you know, probably middle school through high school, used to just play around rapping on the school bus. This is what we did. Then my freshman year of college, I was just freestyling with my homeboy. We had Spanish class together, and he was about some years older than me. Like, he had decided to go back to school, but a lot of his time, he grew up in St. Louis, and he was a DJ for a long time. We used to freestyle, and he was just like, bro, you need to try to put some music together, get in the studio, blah, blah, blah. And I just was like, nah, that was just so far-fetched to me. You know, I left St. Louis, went to Kansas City, went to school, and I was just like, I'm good. I couldn't even imagine being a rapper. I love to rap anyway. I used to do it for fun, but never took it serious. And it just got to the point where we kept freestyling and chilling. He was just like, you know, you got nothing to lose. Like, going to school, I was doing good in school. Like, at the worst come to worst, I went to school and I started rapping, you know what I mean? But I really had school as like something to hold me back. I always been good at school. That was my little blessing. You know, I never liked school, I'll be real, but it was just, I could read and write, you know?
Nice.
Listen and shit. So music was just that next step. Plus, I like writing. So it's crazy I got into making music for real. But now, ever since then, since my freshman year, I was writing. I probably didn't even drop my first piece of work until like 3 years afterwards, right? Just because I really wanted to be good. And I was real self-conscious. I'm not going to lie. Starting out, I just didn't have the confidence to really put music out there and believe in myself and believe in my image. But I did all in the background, dropped something in 2015. Looking back at it now, I can just see my progress from then on and there. You know, I still think I rap better, my beats are better, my swagger in my music is better. So it's been a journey, man. It's been taking its time, but you know,
I think that's great, dude, because like a lot of artists, like, you know, they start and then they just start putting stuff out without having that time to themselves to really develop who they are as a brand. So that's awesome. So you said you did that for like about 3 years?
3 years for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What was some of those biggest challenges in those 3 years?
Trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about, man. Like, when I first started rapping, I wasn't comfortable with my own story. I think even bigger than music, it was me just being comfortable being myself, because after really learning about music, and I studied the greats, you know, I studied people that made it big in music. I don't want to be a one-hit wonder, so I studied people like Pac, Biggie, Drake, Wayne, Jay-Z, and people that did it independent, Nipsey Hussle, Master P, and like, you know, a lot of them talk about it being an internal battle more than anything. It's something that you do for yourself. You really have to know yourself to be better at music. So a lot of the hurdles were just me being confident in Cameron, telling my own story. You know, I feel like I used to make music about surface level things because that's where I was comfortable. And it's crazy how music is really like a reflection of yourself or what you're comfortable talking about. So it was that personal growth. Then figuring out, what do I want to talk about? How do I want to look in my videos? What stories do I want to tell? For me, it's that deep, you know, like I wish I could just put out music sometimes and just say anything, but I can't because I care about it too much. So it makes me go through that extra step of like thinking about what I want to say, how I want to do it. But I think that's important if you want to do this for a long time. You got to really, like you said, build your brand, build up yourself, and make it something that you could grow from and duplicate, something that people want to follow and see progress. So it's been cool.
So what story are you trying to tell moving forward from where you are right now?
My life story, pretty much my life story of growing up in St. Louis, like situations where I didn't really have my parents in my life due to them being young parents. You know, my dad was doing this thing in the streets. My mom was kind of dealing with depression and things like that. Like, I want to talk about that stuff more, and then just really doing a lot of stuff on my own. Like, I really had to really be independent mentally and self-made because I just didn't have that extra guidance. My grandma was in my life a lot, but we had that kind of disconnect just because I was so young and she was older. But, you know, she was just one of those people that always told me to believe in myself too. She was aware of what was going on as far as like my parents' situation, but, you know, I was a smart kid. She was just like, you got to do more for yourself at this point. You can't really, don't look to depend on people for your happiness. You know, I learned at a very, very, very young age. And I think that's something that I think people struggle with that for a long time. I don't even think that's something you have to be young to learn, but that was something I learned at a really young age, and it kind of stuck with me, and it's taken me this far.
Oh yeah, man. I think that's a super like strong core value to have as a person just in general. And I think it will take you far for sure. So
that.
You said you went to school as well. What did you go to school for?
I started to be a nurse, right? But
really?
That was
nice.
For money. I switched that the first day of school. First day. I'm like, I want to be a nurse. Like, it just sounded good coming out of high school. I looked at the dollars you can make being a male nurse, and I switched to health science. So I still want to help people and be in health, but I switched to more like public health, right? So we would learn stuff about the effects of eating, the effects of your environment, the effects of like, even like sociology, you know what I'm saying? Like, being who you're around and what you let influence you and stuff like that. So I did some personal training. Really, that's how I took it and used that.
That's cool. Do you use any of that like personal training to help you with your music? Like, does that translate?
Yeah, I mean, even if it's not for music, you know, just staying mentally in the game, physically, you know, helping my image and things like that. Just it helps though. Just being healthy in general.
He had that early LL Cool J look going on with the muscles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we gotta bring it back. All the rappers do drugs now. I mean, I get out, but you know, there's no fit rappers. So
no, it ain't. So hey, real quick, just to kind of go back around to some of your first opening statements. Surface level. I feel like a lot of artists that come into the game never get past surface level. And I don't even know if they even think that that's it. I don't even think that they even comprehended that affects their music, the depth of their music, and maybe even possibly the longevity of their music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I also don't think people think that deep about music, though. Everybody isn't looking at music like longevity and this and that. People can look at it as if it's a way to just make money. Like, I would do music regardless. That's why I've never been too obsessed about the attention I get. Don't get me wrong, I want my brand to get bigger, but, you know, I'm not just trying to dye my hair, tattoo my face, put guns in my video, and just go viral overnight. Like, for me, it really is about building an image, building a brand, being a better me, and then my music will get better. Automatically it will, because I use it as a way to reflect and talk about life. Like, some people, it's not that deep, you know. Some people hear a tough beat and they just want to talk shit. And I've been in that position too, to where it's like, it's not that deep. Even though I cared about music, I didn't quite understand what it took to get the longevity. Like, you need that stuff. You need to open up for real for people to be really connected to you. Overall, you know, you get one-hit wonders. There's people out there who blow because they made a party song, you know, and they still play that song in the club. So that's also another thing. I think it just depends on the individual, though. I can't tell anybody what to do with that music, because people do make it with shallow music.
Is there any artists right now that are, you know, doing their thing, maybe even household names, that you feel do a good job at getting a little deeper and not just so surface level?
I'm a fan of Lil Baby. I like his music. As far as somebody that's like real newer, the newer name game. But of course, you know, Drake. I think even though Future has this wild side, like I think he has elements in his music that open up and really help you get to know him a little bit more and what he struggled with. You know, Drake, Cole, and Kendrick definitely do it. All the big names do it. If you ask me, Wayne has done it with tracks, and Jay-Z. But as far as newer artists, Lil Baby has been one that I like his style.
Yeah. I'm really respecting his music, especially as of late. It has way more of a message to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's definitely taking what's going on right now and just kind of the weight of the pressures and just in our community, in the hip hop community, and really just shining the light on it so people can be aware and let people know there is a better way. You can get out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. Meek Mill is somebody that's been doing that too. I want to mention him too because that's somebody who I listen to a lot.
Yeah. What you guys at?
Cool. You're talking about how when you very first started out in music, you were into drums, right?
Yeah.
So has that helped you with your rhythm with rapping?
Yeah.
Yeah?
For sure. Just playing with different cadences. It's helped me with choosing my beats too and like making my music. Like, because I listen to music and I can hear sounds really well. For real, sometimes I can just hear a beat and hear like it needs this extra sound because I was in percussion, right? So we take care of the rhythm and the drums, but we would have class and we would go over to work with the horns and the flutes and like wind instruments and things like that. So I could literally hear we go from the rhythm to adding the melodies and the sounds are just in my head. Like seriously, I can hear music and just more music is in my head. It's so hard to explain. Like sometimes I could be listening to a beat and words will pop into my head or like different sounds will come into my head. So music is just really something that's really in me without me really trying. So that is definitely helped though.
That's
Years
awesome.
of just doing that, making different rhythms.
Did you do like the marching band as well? Or was
a
it
little bit?
I did.
Yeah. I did, get in, but yeah, and I played the snare in that, and I did a little bit of bass drum, but I was exposed to all the drums though, the quads, bass drum, snare drum, like all of that. Even small instruments, right? Like chimes, stuff that's just like elements that add to the vibe of the music, little things like that, so I can hear that stuff.
So
that's important.
How does that work with like a band? Because like I never did band. I was more like choir, but how does that work? Do they just have different people on specific instruments, or do they have like? Yeah,
well, song could be 3 minutes long, right? And if you got the wind chimes, you probably got 4 parts that are crucial. Like if you don't start these wind chimes on time, it takes away from the element, like the transitional element of the song. It's stuff like that. Like,
it's very detailed. It's very detailed, and every instrument has very important roles. And when you put all those things together, it just makes this big sound.
Exactly.
So. Shout out to all my brass players. And I was in band too. I played anything brass, your trumpet, your French horn, your whatever. You know what I'm saying?
You played the baritone, stuff like that.
All that. Yep.
Yeah. I've been exposed to all of that stuff. Like, it's cool to hear music come together like that, though. For real, like people don't listen to band music like that, but it was cool to hear the drums and the rhythms and stuff. And then I could really hear other music on the radio, or artist songs and stuff, and be like, okay. And that's the reason I think Kanye is so big. Or like great producers are getting more attention now because of the way they're able to put sounds together. That's all a band does. Really, you take these different instruments, different melodies, and you layer them together in a way that's memorable. For real, we know some songs because of the beat these days. So
it's important.
Sounds,
So when you're working with like a producer and you know they have like their experience producing the music and creating it for you, how do you go about telling them, hey, I want to change this part in the song that they already created? Like how do you keep that communication open so you know maybe they don't get offended or you know what I mean?
For sure. If I'm really working with somebody, right, they probably already know that I'm like that. Like, it's not going to take long. If we're really making the beat together, I'm about to start making suggestions immediately because that's what I care about. It's
Yeah.
what I want to do. I want it to sound right to what I like too. And I haven't offended anybody that I know of, you know, and if I did, I'm not meant to work with that person. I guess it's not that deep for me. Music is a collaborative effort. Same way if I get in the booth, right, I'm not so self-conscious to the point where, like, I only want to say what I want to say. I'll make music, write music, and I'll get your opinion on it real quick. Like, should I say this or that? Does that sound right? I just want a little bit of feedback from people that I know are really listening. I don't take everybody's feedback, but yeah, and I feel like for us to be good together making music, okay, you need to take my feedback and I need to take yours. So I go about it. I'm pretty straightforward about it, for real. I just say it. I want to hear this go different.
So it's more just like give and take. Like, hey, I'm here to help you out. You're here to help me out. Like, it's all towards the same goal. So eventually it'll become something great.
Yeah, it's the end goal. Like, and typically that's the person I'm working with too. So it hasn't been an issue, you know.
So when picking out beats, do you usually like go online to find stuff, or do you just have your producer make stuff for you and you're like, okay, this is a track I like, or you just search through their tracks, or how do you go about that?
So it's changed, right? When I first started rapping, all I did was take free beats off YouTube. I was just experimenting, taking sounds that I like, or I take an artist beat that I like, just jack for beats, take that beat, use it. Now when I have just over the years and working with different people, I've developed a relationship. So some people just send me beats, but I still always search for new beats through people's catalog too. But my rule is that I make sure whatever I'm writing to needs to be easy. It's a lot of good music out there. It's a lot of good beats. So when I hear a beat, it should be easy for me to write to. If I have to think about it, it's just not right for me. Yeah, I let the beat kind of talk to me, and yeah, it's kind of crazy like that though. Like the beat to me already is saying something to me. Now whether I can get some words on it or not is one thing, but it's got to be easy. So I just click through. You know, it don't really take that long for me to know if I like a beat though. You know, if I get into it and it starts giving me a rhythm, some words that just pop into my head. It's really like that.
So it's that marriage where the music and the artist, they already communicating with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy how it works like that, and not every beat is gonna do that.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
It won't. It won't. And then some of my favorite people to work with understand that too, though. Like producers, they understand it could be any type of beat that I like. They may bring me 5 different styles of beats. I might like 1 or 2, but those 1 or 2 I can actually do something with. Like I'm not the type of person to take your beats and be like, oh, that's cool, bro. Yeah, and just send it to me anyway. Like, no, I'm not gonna waste your time either. Like, I like what I like.
Yeah. No, I think it's better to be straightforward that way, because like you said, you don't waste the other person's time as well. And it's, you know, it's not to hurt their feelings. It's just like, hey, this doesn't fit with the brand or something like that. So would you say that the beats help inspire your lyrics, or do you also, you know, write lyrics before you find the beats?
Okay, yeah, I'm beat first all the time.
Beat first?
Yeah, beat first, because the beat is already, to me, it's already providing a vibe or a certain energy. Like, I'm going off that regardless. The beat is going to tell me what I'm writing about. Does this beat put me in a mood where, okay, this could go for some females, or this beat could be more like an upbeat party beat, or this beat I can just really reflect on. Like, it's already talking to me for real. I don't have to. That's why I say it should be no effort. It should be effortless for me to make my songs.
Yeah, that's good advice for, I think, other artists too. I think they don't think of it like that. I just think that this is the beat I got, so I got to do something to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. People struggle. I've been in that position too. And you know what happened? This is what happens. Once I gained a little confidence and started dropping music, right? It was tracks that I just wanted to make work. So I'm spending hours on this beat. I'm doing my thing. Then it was tracks where I was just like, boom, just made that and put it out. And I'm telling you, every single time, almost every song to where I put less effort into the writing process has done better. Not that I didn't think about it, but I remember writing that track and I'm like, yeah, it didn't take me long to make that one. Like, the flow just came to my head. Every single time, those songs have done better than where I done picked the beat, fell in love with it, been like, well, I got this beat, I got to use it, write something to it. It never got that attention. And it made me realize how much music is really just about the feeling that you're putting forth. Like, people feel your music more than they're listening to it first. They'll listen after they feel a good vibe, a good beat from that. So, yeah, that was something I had to learn too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Zach.
No, I was just going to say, I'm wondering too, like, because like having that forced feeling when you're trying to make music is it's not a negative feeling, but it's less in that like higher frequency space of where your mind can go. So I'm wondering, is that kind of like a reason you might not do as well too, because you're just like, you feel like the whole process might be forced?
Right.
Like even once you're done with the song, like even like doing the music video, or pushing all the way through and just like really having that good feeling behind it the whole time.
Right. Yeah, no, it's exactly like that. But I'm so to the point where I don't force it doesn't matter, right? I'm more likely now to make a song that felt good and I listen to it and be like, it didn't hit the way I wanted to. I don't even waste my time with a beat anymore. It doesn't happen anymore because I'm looking for that feeling, right? Like if somebody sends me something, I need to be able to automatically start. I have my pen, I have my phone, or whatever may come to my head. I may just be walking around my room, but I'm already trying to make a song as soon as I hear that beat. And if a song starts coming to my head, okay, it's time to keep it. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to really love it in the end, but I make sure everything that I make, I'm not, like, really forcing it, just like you said. Because if you force it, then everything is forced. I've never, I stopped doing that a long time ago because, like I said, I would make something, and then I was never scared to let people listen to it, but it's like the stuff they got attracted to was stuff that I remember, like, it really didn't take me that much time. Like, I remember they like it, and I remember listening to it when I was making it. I'm like, okay, I'm on it. Like, that's hitting, like, off the rip. It didn't take that much. So, no, there's no forcing it. It's got to be effortless. It's got to be smooth. That doesn't mean I'm always like it at the end, but I know I put the right feeling on there because it wasn't a forced feeling. That shit came natural, and it rolled off the tongue. That's how I want it to be every time, though. So,
oh yeah. So
once I get that, I'm meant to be.
So if you like, let's say you have a track that's like a little more like hard, right? And then you have a track that's a little more chill. When you go back to those tracks, how do you kind of switch and get back to that emotion and feeling? Is it just natural because you already felt that emotion once you got that track, or do you kind of have to like turn a switch on and off a little bit?
So this is what I say. For me, I realize, once again, looking at music is like a feeling. Once I play that track, it should take me to a place. Like when you hear real good music, it doesn't matter what the mood is, really. It'll change your mood because it's that strong of a feeling or emotion or strong lyric or beat that they're putting out. So I look for that in my songs too. Like I think that's just part of my ear for music and my feeling. Like I can listen to my own music after maybe like a day or two, I just let it sit or something like that. Like you're saying, go back, listen to it. If it's not pulling me, if it's not like, okay, that song is turning me up. I would not even turned up, but that song, that beat, that flow, that's taking me somewhere. It should automatically do that. And if it's a female track in whatever mood it needs to be, like this song should do it for real. I think the music is more important than how I'm feeling. How does that music make you feel?
Yeah, yeah. So I want to switch gears a little bit because I do want to talk about how music makes you feel. So I want to go to the Midwest a little bit. You're from the Midwest, so I want to talk about what do you feel is the scene on the Midwest? Is there anybody making noise out there, or is there a reason why you had to leave the Midwest and come to the A? Like, what's the music culture like out there?
It's not big. I mean, not St. Louis and Kansas City. There's a lot of people making music, right? But it's not too many people really making a name for themselves like that. Like a lot of local fame, it's nobody really breaking through it's a lot of trap artists. Like it's a dude named 30 Deep Grimy in St. Louis. Smino, you all might have heard of Smino. Smino is popular. Like, it's people out there doing stuff, don't get me wrong, right? But there's nobody really huge. If we include Chicago, they got a lot of good artists, but they have a lot of trap artists besides Chance or like Common or Kanye. Like a lot of their artists are young drill artists, you know what I'm saying? G Herbo. Right. Polo G is like a new artist out of Chicago that's doing this thing. There's people out there doing their thing. Montana 300. A lot of Chicago people, as far as St. Louis, man, it's a lot of trap rappers. Like, I can't think of these dude's name for real. I know some too, but still. But they hit that. They hit that. As far as the ceiling, it's just it's a ceiling. Like, you never see anybody get past being a local celebrity for real. And that was just a sign for me to leave too, because honestly, I know talent when I see it. Some of these dudes I would see, bro, really talented, bro. And I would see them the years I'm going behind the scenes, right? I'm not even dropping music. I'm seeing them like, dang, I know he gonna blow. Like, he fucking cold. Like, he's nice. never go anywhere. And I'm like, shit, it's been 2-3 years, right? I haven't even really been putting out music, or it's been 4 or 5 years. I haven't even put out music. You've been dropping, you've been on this, you've been doing this show in this part of the city, this. But bro, all your shit is still local. Like, no matter what, you're still a local celebrity. And I mean that with no disrespect. I'm just calling it how it is. Like,
Right. Do you think it's them?
Time to go.
Do you think it's them staying too local? Because obviously their music is good. You saw the talent. You saw the potential. You think what their downfall was is just staying in that pocket? They should have maybe ventured out some?
Yeah, I think so. That's the only thing I can guess, right? Because you can go viral, but everybody's not going viral. Sometimes you need to get out and network, spread your own name and face. That's what I think. I can't speak for every artist, but I mean, me, I'm the type of person, like I said, I'm watching to see, like, are things changing? Are they growing? Are they getting bigger? Like, is it starting to plateau? Like, you just leveling off? Like, I'm watching that. So, for me, I couldn't do it. But, some people do blow up out of their city because they went viral for something. But that's not everybody's story. I think in order for real to really make a name for yourself, though, the sure shot way is to just work hard and spread your name. You got to do whatever you can do to get in front of more people. You know what I'm saying? You could be cold in your city, but your city is 80,000 people and you're getting 80, 100,000 views on YouTube. Yeah, that looks good for where you're from, but people doing that all the time in these bigger cities. And it's still not making a name. So it's like, you got to take yourself to the next level by any means. So, for real, you can't just rely on one way to make it. You don't know what way might work for you.
So if you come from a city that, kind of has that plateau, what would you have to do? Would you suggest like moving to a different city to like do that, or even just like try to book? Obviously right now it's kind of shitty with COVID, but would you try to like book shows outside of your city? Or
I think shows is one thing. I think that's cool. I think you need to go. That's me, right? That's my story. It worked for me. But I've seen it work for other people too. A lot of artists we know, like even Ray Sherman, right? They blew up in Atlanta. It's artists that's not from Atlanta that blew up in Atlanta. Lil Yachty's not from Atlanta. Yeah. He blew up in Atlanta. People move, to get more exposure. I think you need to do it by any means. That's what I'm saying. I realize like you really can't say it's one way to do it. But if one way is not working, you need to try some new ways over the years. But I think that's something you should do regardless, right? Like to grow as a person, you need to keep trying new things and pushing yourself in new ways to see what works for you, to try new avenues. So some of this stuff is even bigger than being an artist. It's just you as a person. If you want to grow, your music will grow. Like it's
right. Yep. You as a person that's major key, man. It's a major key. Because you are your own brand at the end of the day.
That's it.
People a lot of times when you network and they meet you before they hear any music.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Heard your music. Right. Never heard your music, but they gonna meet you first. And a lot of times, if you got that good first impression, regardless how trash your music may be or how good your music may be, they'll rock with you just off of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's dope. Speaking of hearing your music, I want to dive into the single a little bit. I seen you put it together from start to finish. That's why I was bugging you like, yo, you got to get on the podcast because I see you was putting the work in it. It was a fun video. I remember when y'all was going down there shooting it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let's talk about it. It's called what? Vroom, right? Vroom. Like what is it? Zoom. So let's talk about it. Let's dive into it.
I made Zoom this past spring. Zoom was another one where when I heard the beat, it was easy to make. I made the first verse and the hook already. Went to the studio, laid that down. People was feeling it. And then made the second verse while I was in the studio. And we just liked it, for real. Me and my producer, the dude that made the beat, his name B. Castro, he met me off an Instagram ad. I was running some ads for other songs I had, right? He ended up DMing me. We linked up in the fall. Finally, we made some songs, but Zoom was just one where we made it. We both was like, bro, I'm feeling this. Like, it's different. Like, there's something different about it, you know what I'm saying? Played it for other people, and people was like, yeah, that's hot, bro. Like, for real. Like, that's different. So it just was that. It was a feeling, bro. It's just, you got to go with your gut sometimes. And me and him both felt real good about it. I let other people listen to it, kept getting good feedback. So, shit, we shot the video probably within like a month of making it, for real, because quarantine that hit as soon as we hit it. So made the video. I don't know. We just it felt good. It felt right. So it's cool to get good feedback on it. You know what I mean? But that's the way I feel with other songs too. Don't get me wrong. You just never know what could be that one. Like I never release a song like, damn, I think it's trash. Like I'm thinking every time it could be a hit. I'm just not discouraged when it's not.
Right. No, it was a fun video. You got the whole crew. You got all the homies in there. You know what I'm saying? All the homegirls in there. So shout out to them, because all of them doing major moves. So, but like, let's talk about the process of like, because a lot of people need to understand the work and organization that needs to go into a lot of these things and the strategic moves and plans that go on behind the scenes. Because a lot of artists, I think, just go like, okay, I got a beat, I'm a rap, and then like you know what I'm saying? Like they really don't. Yeah. So break it down to us a little bit.
Okay. Well, I got the beat first, right? With a variety of other beats. I actually remember I went to the studio that day to make like 2 or 3 different songs. And that one just, even when I rapped it out loud, it just went good. I ended up only using that track for like the whole 3-hour session, just working on it, getting it better, getting the vocals right. Because as we kept listening to it, people just kept loving it. The homies was in there that day. I had like 3-4 of my homeboys in there that day. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was feeling it. So it was like, fuck it. Come on, fuck the other song. Like, let's make this one hot. Fuck it. Because on the ad-libs, that's my homeboy JB. JB did the ad-lib, like the scary sound in there. Like he was listening to it, he like, bro, he needs something like this. Yeah. He's like, bro, do this and that. Like, it's a collaborative effort, you feel me? So I have him fall through just to see what you hear on one end. I got an ear for one thing, but you might hear something else too. So, and I know he really fucks with what I'm doing. So he give me some honest feedback on my shit. Like, I don't keep yes men around me. I don't need you around me just for everything that I do is hot. Like, that's just not possible. I don't believe that. I know I can rap, right? I don't think anybody can take that away from me. But every time I make a track, it's just not a straight hit. It ain't like that. It's just not realistic either. So you hear some shit, okay, I'm going to take your idea, right? And I deny ideas. It's yes or no. But he was just saying do this and that. So that's part of the process too, right? Like, I'm listening. I'm taking feedback on that song. I'm not just taking what I wrote and just running with it, saying it's hot, and feeling sad when somebody else tell me I need to change this and that. Like, it's cool. If you hear something, let's make the song better. So that's part of the process too for me. Now, when I write, I like to be alone. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't like writing and people putting their opinions in. That's when I do get offended, because for real, when I'm writing, it's a process for me. I'm thinking, like, I'm not done. That's not what I might lay down. Because I rap a lot around the crib and shit, like, over and over. I change the verse myself. It's a certain amount of effort I need to put in myself first. Then I'm gonna ask for your opinion on it. And that's what happened in the studio. 9 times out of 10, every time I go to the studio, I got somebody else there who I think has a good ear for music. I can listen to it with them and like build the track up. So that's part of it, right, in the studio. Then mixing and mastering is another thing. The engineer that was there, he had just threw me a deal on the mix and master because he was like in the song too, you know. But that's another process and that's another cost as an artist, right?
Do you sit in on that, or do you sit in on the mixing and mastering part, or?
I will, but I didn't that time. I didn't. I had to send it back a couple times, but normally I do like to be there. So it just depends. But that's another process, right? Getting it mixed and mastered. Shooting a video is the whole process. There's always something that happens for the video, right? I might invite 10 people to the video, 5 show up. I'm so used to that. Like, you got to be prepared for whatever can happen, right? So that's a process too, shooting the video. Then, right, I really shot the video, in 2 locations in Atlanta. And I was pretty much done with it, right? But I did a location in Atlanta and I did a location in St. Louis. I didn't have cars in there first. So, right, I had finished the video, paid for the video, did all this stuff, still didn't like my video. After going in Atlanta, renting an Airbnb, doing all this and that, having my people come out, travel to St. Louis to finish the rest of the video, right? Now, mind you, I went out there and used a different videographer, a dude that I was cool with back in St. Louis. And this asshole took all the time in the world to send me my files back while I'm visiting St. Louis. So I ran into that issue. Getting my files back from him. That was another story, but like finally got some clips from him. Ended up finishing the video, right? But I didn't have everything because I didn't have cars in there first. And it was a nice video, right? My videographer did his thing, but it just was not, like I said, I feel like things have to have a certain feel, a certain pull to them. Like, it's got to make you gravitate towards it. So I just didn't get that feeling watching the video. So I go record again, and we rented some cars, went to another area in Atlanta and shot that again. This is probably like 2 weeks after I done already finished the video. I'm just like, it's not good enough.
Yeah.
So I went back and spent more money on the video, spent more to get the cars in there, more edits and everything like that. But the final product, I was proud of myself. You know, I like it more. It's my best video yet. But I can still look at that and see where I would improve on the next one. But it's a process, like you said, though. It really is a process to make a product good. And I had one cover art made, right? Didn't like that cover art after a while, so I had to pay to do a photo shoot, get the cover art right, get a car again for the cover art. Like, it was definitely a process, bro. But everything was worth it, if you ask me, in the end. Because I've been that person, right? I've been that person just kind of using my budget, and whatever I got, sticking with that. All right, that's what fit in the budget. That's what I'm putting out. Now, I'd rather just take my time. I'd rather just get it right. I'd rather just spend the extra money, put the extra effort, the extra thought into it before I release it. Even though it's taking more time, it's only making the song and the visual more impactful, if you ask me, because it's better. It looks more professional. It looks more thought out. It looks, you gravitate towards it more, you know? I need to replay.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad that you said that, is because really you can't afford to really cut no corners.
You can't. Yeah, it's worse to do it like that.
Yeah, you cut corners, people see it, it look low budget. You're not competing with the majors out there. You know what I'm saying? Like this is we're in a time in the music industry where the independents legitimately can compete with the majors. Right? And it's all on you of how you want to put yourself out there. And a lot of independent artists, they fall short when they come to little things like that, not really paying attention to details and really not like respecting their own craft. It's your own craft at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Seriously. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like you being a clothing designer and you building a clothing line, and then you got your shirts and the stitching and everything coming out the dang on shirt. Like you ain't do no quality control on your product. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. And I think like, you know, it's a constant setting of a bar too for your own personal growth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's It
is. That's why I said, like, I've been that person before, right? I've gone through that phase too. Like, if I get on YouTube, I got videos where I stood in one spot, rapped, let the videographer do all the edits, one outfit, nobody else in the video. You know, I've been there. But it's about growth, you know? You can't keep doing that and thinking that you about to blow and be somebody special, because you're not doing anything special. Like you said, you got to be able to compete. When you play your stuff, even if being an independent artist is your thing, they want to be able to play your stuff, then play one of these major artists, just like you said. And you should have your own style, but it shouldn't be a difference in quality. You need to sound just as good when we play you through the speakers, when we play your video, it needs to pop just as much. Two different budgets, right? But creativity can go a long way too. Yeah. So, I agree with that.
So,
put that extra effort in.
What's something you learned from this video shoot, or multiple things that you learned from this video shoot that you're going to bring to your next video shoot?
Those elements that I was kind of talking about, but more so, if we're talking specifically videos, right?
Just learning experience,
right? I got to make sure I use the right venue. I got to have the right background. I got to have the right people in the video, the right clothes. Like, all of this stuff matters. I don't want to just throw on a t-shirt and do a music video. I don't want to just shoot with me rapping at the camera, right? I'm thinking of things of, like, what makes movies more popular, right? Yeah, elements even on Netflix, right? They got different types of movies. You can watch comedy, you can watch a thriller, you can watch romance, you can watch action. But it's about me thinking about that for the video. That's what makes you go back to your Netflix videos, and that's why you like your favorite genre. They got shit in there that's appealing to you. Maybe you like action movies because of the guns and the fighting and shit. You probably like scary movies because of the ghosts, the spirits, whatever it may be. My rap shit, my song, I got to bring that shit to life and bring an element of life. That's what I'm doing for my next one. Some type of movie theme to it. Maybe it's some funny parts to it. Maybe it's some action. It's some sex appeal. It's some comedy. Like, you got to spice it up. You got to make that shit something people want to watch. Like, it's got to be entertainment. At the end of the day, I'm competing against Netflix and everybody else on Instagram. You can watch my music video. You can watch Netflix. I need to pick my shit.
That's real. That's real. A lot of people need to think about it. You have to have that mindset. You're not only are you competing with Netflix, now you competing with the news, because there's always some extra BS that's on the news right now, right? It's just crazy, bro. So
Yeah,
like
bro.
you gotta think big, and you're constantly fighting for people's attention.
Attention, that's it.
Flat out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it. It's a fight for
Yeah,
that.
Dude,
yeah.
that's honestly the first time I've ever heard an artist say, "Yo, I'm going up against Netflix." Like,
But for
it's
real,
real though. Yeah,
whether you want to think about it or not, yeah. Or the funny dude that's on Instagram that's uploading every day. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like that shit matters. That's why you got 1 million followers.
Or like the 15-second TikToks that literally don't do anything. You
Don't do
know?
shit. Don't do shit. You got 50,000, 100,000 views. You competing against that shit. It's
Yeah, you
entertainment. It's
competing.
attention. Like you said, at
Yeah,
the end of the day. So yeah.
yeah. Um, well, hey, this is a question that Zach usually asks, but I'm gonna ask this one because we competing for attention, right?
Right.
So, what's one thing that your artists, that your fans and your following don't know about you that they'll find out first here on the Emix podcast?
Oh man, you put me on the spot.
It could be personal or music related.
I think the story I told, that's more personal than anything. That's new information. I don't really always talk about that on Instagram, like how I grew up and what I dealt with. So that'd be something definitely different.
What about the you going to school to be a nurse?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, now that is, yeah. I don't talk about that much.
He's leaving little snippets here and there for us. We might
Yeah,
have
you
more.
Then the rest you gotta kind of let the music tell the story too. So yeah, you getting some insight though.
Hell yeah.
All right.
So besides like you just getting inspiration from the beat, is there anything outside of life that inspires you?
I'm honestly inspired by talent. I'm inspired by other great artists.
Mm.
I'm not a hater. I love to see people shine. I love to see you go get 1 million, billion views on YouTube.
Yeah.
What did you do? I'm trying to figure it out. What's in your video? What's in your song? What's in your lyrics? It's something you did that's attracting these people. You can hate all day on certain people, like how people hate on mumble artists and this and that, or whatever you may categorize somebody to be. Like at the end of the day, if they grabbing people's attention, it's something they're doing. It's an element to whatever they're bringing that's different, and people are attracted to that shit. So, no, I'm easily inspired, though. I think that's why I'm so highly motivated, too. Like, I don't wake up and look at people on Instagram or see their life being going good and be like, damn, I wish my life was like that. Like, no, that shit, okay, you're doing it big. It just inspires me up. Like, I'm really that easily inspired. So, it doesn't take much, bro. You can inspire me, bro. The fact that you're willing to chase your dream, you're willing to wake up, do these podcasts week after week, you're willing to take a risk, move back to Colorado so you can get to Atlanta, bro, that's inspiring. People don't do that. People don't wake up motivated, really thinking about where they really want to be 5 years from now and really stick to it. Everybody has dreams and goals, but people don't wake up and work on that shit every day. People push that shit to the side and then wonder why 4 or 5 years go by and they didn't end up where they wanted to be. That's your fault.
Right. You let life get in the way instead of dictating your own life. Yeah.
We all got a family. We all got relationships. We all got stress. We all got a lot of the same shit going on. It's all how you handle it and where you end up putting your focus that's going to determine where you end up in the long run. So
let me ask you this to kind of piggyback off inspiration. We asked this question seems like a long time ago, a few episodes ago. So I want to dive into real quick. So I ain't gonna go that far back. We'll start in the 90s. What's one of your favorite artists in the 90s, that decade?
Biggie.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
A lot of flows. Biggie is just big dude, but talk his shit like his own flow and
innovative. The whole nine. Changed the game. Sure. Put the East Coast on his back. 100%.
That's it.
All right. So what about the 2000s? Between 2000 and 2010 or 9?
For me, I was a Wayne fan. Wayne and Jay-Z were big to me.
Okay. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. What about from 2010 to 2020?
Shit, I'm real.
2019. 2019.
Oh, 2019. Damn.
Between 2010 and 2019.
We counting the decade, man. I gotta go with the cliche answer. Like Drake took over. If you ask me, people can hate, but
Yeah.
he's still on the charts. I was a Drake fan for real though, way before like it was cool to be a Drake fan. Like when he was making all the sad ass music, people kept saying he was a sensitive rapper and shit. Like I just respected him once again doing some shit that was different. Like now I couldn't listen to it all the time. I ain't gonna lie to you because I'm just not always in that mood. But I respected the fact that you know, he would put his shit out there like that. Plus he could rap, so
you
I
can.
get Drake on that.
How many songs he got on the radio right now? Like 2, 3, 4? Dude is a monster, bro. Yeah. He a monster. And the reason why I said 2019, because I did want anything specifically for 2020.
Yeah, I Lil Baby for real.
Little bit, okay.
Like I like how, like you said, versatile he is. He can talk about one life, but also talk about the bigger picture. I mean, that's the name of the song, but still, that's really what he's doing.
Right. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. And I know for a lot of people, Cam Duce go be on that list too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So man, this is just so crazy. 'Cause me and you, we didn't work so many times. Like we got songs and records together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know the work ethic, and I know how much blood, sweat, and tears you put into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And me working with so many different artists, I don't see that with a lot of other artists. How much balance do you think you would need between pure talent or just pure hustle?
I think the hustle is way more important. I think it's artists that aren't that talented. That's just me judging, right? But they work so hard. They found a lane, they found a fan base, and they made that shit work for them, man. And it's like, that's better than anything, for real. You could be talented, but you could be lazy. You be talented and feel like talented people sometimes feel entitled because they get praised. They feel like, well, I'm good. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with you. Why don't you like me? As opposed to looking at music like a business, right? And it's still a service. You have to make something that people want. They got to want to hear that shit and want to play it every day. It's not because you're talented. It's because you make good music. Like, you might not make the best music, but you might have a song that just pops for you. Like, you just never know how it's going to happen. The hustle is way, way more important.
Yeah, no, I agree. 90-10.
Yeah, 90-10. Yeah.
for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be able to rhyme at least, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Right.
Yeah.
Right. At least stay on beat.
Right. And some people don't even stay on beat for real.
But I mean, how many songs have we heard that's popular and they repeat the same shit jamming throughout the whole song?
Right.
Yeah, just rhyme the same word with the same word. You get
with the same word. That's
it. That's it.
$1 billion. So I can't.
Yeah. So what else you guys at before I get pitch black over here?
Yeah, for sure. You kind of discussed that you don't get creative blocks too much, but I'm wondering, before you kind of struggled with like forcing songs, were there times that you did get creative blocks? And if so,
yeah, but
how
I
did
was
it
forced.
What was that?
Yeah, I did get them when I was forcing it. I get creative blocks when I'm forcing it. I do. And that's how I'm forcing it, for real. Like, if I get to the point where I'm kind of just can't think of anything, like, or it's like not working, it's a block for a reason. I think that's on purpose. I listen to that. I don't really take it as I shouldn't be making music. I'm going to switch the beat. I'm going to switch the vibe. That's how I handle that. I'll get them up for real. It's not like I still get into a beat, right? And when I'm making music, sometimes, I have my different vices or whatever, so I might just get into a mood where I feel like, oh yeah, this shit is hot. That shit is not hot. I'll just get into it and wake up one day like, what the fuck? Like, I don't like that shit. And just move. Yeah. I don't let it get to me, though. You feel me? I'm never sold on one song. Like, I love making music. I need thousands of beats. I need thousands of songs, millions. Fuck it. I don't care. Like, it's all about making music to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I avoid the blocks. I don't put pressure on myself like that.
Do you feel like people that focus more on being in a creative block get stuck there longer? Yeah.
But I couldn't say that I know what it's like, because it's supposed to be fun. Like, it's never that serious to me. Music is not so serious to where, like, I have to get it right. It's just not that serious to me. When I start feeling like that, that's when you start getting blocked. You start putting this pressure on yourself to be something that is just not necessary. Good music, people will feel it. If it's real, people will feel it. If it's good, they'll feel it. Like, you don't have to force people to feel nothing. Like, yeah, it's just like a forced relationship, right? Like, it's harder to have a conversation with somebody that is fake because you can tell, like, I mean, the topics that they talk about and the responses that they give you, it's just not genuine. It's just like music has to be genuine. People feel it if it's genuine. And either they genuinely like your shit or they don't, but it's still genuine. That's easier to work with than some fake shit to me. So that's what helps me not get blocks, bro. That shit's got to be easy for me. Let's keep it simple. Is it fun? Is the beat fun to make too? Is it talking to me already? If not, it is what it is. Or if I started it and I thought I liked it and I don't, on to the next. Like, it's never that much pressure. I think people, they forget that. They want this song to work. Oh, I got this beat from such and such. Or everybody said this beat is hot. Or you got to kill it on this beat. I never feel obligated to that. I have people around me all the time. Oh, that beat's hard. You got to do this. You should try to do this. All right, that's cool. If the shit does not work for me, it's not working. I'm never that pressured. Yeah. It's got to be fun. It's got to be fun and simple. I think people feel that.
Yeah, I love that, man. I think it's super important not to put too much pressure on yourself because that's when the creative blocks happen, man. And I noticed, like, once I stopped caring about, like, oh, everything has to be perfect on this song, like, that's when everything just starts to flow. It's like opening up the floodgate. Exactly, 100%.
That's what's up.
And I know DC's outside, so I just want to ask one more question, and then we'll wrap it up. But what is one piece of advice you would give to an artist who is just starting in the music game that could help them push them forward in their career? You've already given awesome advice, but what's that one thing for you?
Number one thing is you do have to have fun. It's got to be fun. It's got to be loose. It's got to be you, right? Just be you and have fun. Like, you can't really force people to like your music. That's what new artists think. They think they're making the hottest shit, and that's cool to think that. You should always have that confidence, but realize it's a taste. Like, never put that pressure on yourself to be so perfect. I did that a lot early on too, and I think that slowed me down more than anything. Just be you, be loose, have fun, like, have less expectations. That's what I say too. Don't feel so entitled. Like, less expectations, have fun, and really just be yourself. Know yourself.
I love it, man.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. Me and you had a lot of those talks too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of those talks, man. Because I was like, bro, if you don't put this out,
I know, right? Stop doing that. Stop sitting. I still do it to this day. Get caught up being a perfectionist, but I know better though. At least now I can kind of check myself. Like, you waiting too long.
Yeah. As long as you have that mental checklist within your own mind, like, kind of like, not an out-of-body experience, but, you know, kind of like you're watching yourself doing that'll help for sure.
It does. Yeah, you got to check, like you said, check yourself a little bit.
Hell yeah, man. Well, before we close out, can you drop your social so people can give you a follow, and we'll wrap it up?
All right, for sure. What's good, world? It's Cam Duce. Catch me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google, Cam Duce, CAMDUCE _. Zoom out now. Check that out. And we got more hot shit on the way, man. We just getting started. Ground up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to just remix what he said. We got Cam Duce. We got Zacadia, Zach. We got DC. We got Emix. We out here. You know what I'm saying? We talking Zoom talk. You know what I'm saying? And we over here about to get into that exclusive new from Cam Duce from the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? My Midwest brother right there, because you know I'm from the Midwest too. And we about to turn up. We about to run that joint back like 18 times, download it, stream it, do all of that right now. Boom. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Look,
Peace.
Tell me what you need, what you want. I'm on a mission. I jumped off the porch and got it scorching with ambition. Northside nigga from the middle of the map. Where I'm from, you go to jail or to the motherfucking trap. Show the head in my lap. I do the dash with the gas lit. Remember I was lacking confidence. That's in the past tense. Now these bitches tell me that they love me. Gotta add this. I got my mind right. I'm on point. point like cactus. We been in apartments, now my mama need a palace. Can't stop like GM, yeah, bitch, I need a challenge. Shorty bad, but always wanna spend time, she need balance. She swear I want these hoes, I just want Benji in the mattress. Get it cracked. I need a fast car, go zoom. I need a bad bitch, maybe two. All of my niggas pouring up too. Pray that my niggas all stay true. Lord knows I grind, put the bullshit behind. Had to learn these lessons, start counting these blessings. I need a fast car, go zoom. I need a bad bitch, maybe two. All of my niggas pouring up too. Pray that my niggas all stay true. Lord knows I grind, put the bullshit behind. Had to learn these lessons, start counting these blessings. White runs, rolling up, white Remy, we pour it up. 2020, we going up, man, pussy nigga look sad as fuck. Hey, coronavirus ain't stopping us, my head up, 4-5 tuck. 2 sticks like nunchucks, I'm too lit, I'm turned up. If you cross me, then you lost me, nigga, that bridge getting burnt up. Good weed with a bad vibe, got her ass out in my shirt up. I'ma lay low if he won't smoke, then fucking nigga, we first up. Type of nigga put the work up, these hating niggas getting worked up. Yeah, hit the gas, I swerve off. Niggas switching sides, bitches telling lies, fuck around, had to cut them off. You ain't down to ride, swear to God, I can tell a fraud from the jump off. You ain't really what you talk about. You a rat, we'll put you out. Yeah, you dead till me get chalked out. I need a fast car, go zoom. I need a bad bitch, maybe two. All of my niggas pouring out true. Pray that my niggas all stay true. Lord knows I grind, put the bullshit behind. Had to learn these lessons, start counting these blessings. I need a fast car, go zoom. I need a bad bitch, maybe two. All of my niggas pouring up too. Pray that my niggas all stay true. Lord knows I grind, put the bullshit behind. Had to learn these lessons, start counting these blessings. Had to learn these lessons, start counting these blessings. I need a fast car, go zoom. I need a bad bitch, maybe two. All of my niggas pouring up too. Pray that my niggas all stay true. Lord knows I grind, put the bullshit behind. Had to learn these lessons, start counting these blessings.